because we don't want to be lifting a 300-pound tent. So if we can just have it where it's all on wheels, we take out the lifting, it's going to allow us any two people here to deploy this tent by the time we're done. From this point forward, where we're going to go. So whether it's coming off the cart or whether it's in the bag, this is what we're going to do every time. This is the process, from start to finish. When I get over here, just unbuckle it, and we want to dump it out of the bag. Got some more equipment packed in here from the factory. We'll set these aside. So this is how we're going to find the tent. Whether it's in the bag or whether it's on the cart, it's going to be in this condition. We'll just kind of get it started to get the bag away. But you don't have to unroll it. Just enough to get the bag out of the way. You can just set that aside. When you look at it and you see this ball, this giant mass, which way is it going to go? Well, it's a sleeping bag. It's going to unroll and then it's going to unfold to the left. Remember, we're always at the right front corner. So pick the spot and say that's where we want it to go. I probably recommend we do that. But let me show you how it works. If you want to film this a little closer,
yeah.
Can you see this valve that I'm about to tap into? Yes. This is an inflate-deflate valve. This is where we fill the tent. Again, it's always in the right front corner. It's simply a push-pull valve. When you pull it out, it's closed. That's the only time it should ever be closed. Leave it open the rest of the time. So what we do, plug our hose in, and we can leave it in. Once we hear that snap, we know it's locked in place. So it's pushed in right now? Until the tent's up and it's good to go, and then we'll pull it out and lock it, and we'll be done. We'll be good to go. So we just made our connection. This is our inflator. This is what's going to put it up. And the inflator, the side with the switch, is the side that inflates. Deflates the other side. So when we go to take it down today, we're going to suck the air out of it and put it away. So at this point, you see which way it's going to deploy. And in a real life scenario, we can start doing other things, pulling other equipment off the cart, getting the water meters ready. But it's going to do the work from here out. What was the last part? It's nice.
Lock it in.
Yeah, there's a little safety cap here.
Oh, okay.
And believe it or not, that's enough to hold the air. It's actually low pressure. So that's ready to go. We have our little safety cap. We can take that away.
We're going to have to move the heater all the way over here.
Yeah, the heater should be right over there. It comes through. So we're going to use those red lines. And everything's quick connect. So anytime we see red, going to have warm water. So we can control the outputs inside or outside. Close these. Open the ones we're connected to. And it doesn't matter if two are on this or two are on that. Either way works. The shower wands can stay in the tent if you prefer. They ship from the factory differently, but everything's clipped in. So I'm going to get my yellow and blue curly hoses and plug them into the plumbing that's already inside the tent. If you'll notice me outside, the first two lines are yellow. So what's going to happen is patients go through. They're going to have a yellow handheld shower, another yellow, and then a blue rinse. So the back lane is always rinsed. So everything in the back is going to be blue. So when you see the color codes, that's what we got. So if you're going to put a soap solution, anything like that in, it's going to be in the yellow lines. So the first one is a gross wash. It's already in there. Then there's going to be a handheld, and then a final rinse. Okay, so here's your first stage where you get showered from all the surround sound. So that's going to be the first gross wash. So as you see, there's 7 shower points, so they're going to get a gross wash. Here, there's going to be a handheld yellow wash. And then here, there's going to be a blue rinse. So blue clean water rinse. So these are your 3 stages. Yes, it can, depending on what you do. Yes.
But the blue is always clean.
Blue is always clean. Yeah, that's going to be the final clean rinse. This is probably going to be more like this. You want to make sure everybody's showering correctly and thoroughly. Some people want it to be dividers, so everybody has total privacy. That's what these curtains are for. These are privacy curtains, and they can be moved. They're just a simple clip here, so we can take that out and move these anywhere we want. We can even move them completely aside if you just want to have a wide open lane. And that's how the center lane will be. We'll have all the curtains out in a way. Plug in. They're very simple to connect if you want to do it afterwards. Thank you. It's all quick connect, but you can also leave them in the tent. So it's just simple quick connect here. And now our shower's installed. So you notice the plumbing was all here. So everything's inside the tent except these. But like I said, you can leave them in.
Even when you fold it up?
Yeah, because it's kind of all packed in like rubber and curtains and stuff, so everything does pretty well. Yeah. It just makes one step easier that you don't have to go and do.
Yeah, let's leave them.
Okay. Them a smock, whatever the protocol is, and they exit the tent clean. Can you reach that center one there? All right, I'm gonna let this curtain fall here.
Thank you.
About this, and then this is the way they did it downtown. They didn't collect it in the tent. So we were talking about the drain. They wanted it to run off. So we have customers that do both. Some want to collect it in here, and some want it to run off. So as you mentioned over there, the one possible set of places on a hill. So it's always going to go to that section.
Okay.
But we do have some pumps to get rid of it. So if it's all, collecting down here, obviously the downhill end is where it's going to collect. So when you set it up, if you set it up in an area that's on a grade, like that, just remember it's always going to run downhill. So the dirty side should be the side you set it up on.
Right.
So we want to clean, when they walk out, we want them to be clean. So point this side uphill.
Okay.
Just remember to do that whenever you're on a hill like that.
Okay.
So this side would be uphill. The water would be collecting toward the hot zone.
Okay.
That end.
Okay.
So we'll put our sump pumps there wherever it's collecting, and you can move them around and get it away that way. If you set it up and you say, oh no, we put it in the wrong direction, you don't have to take it down and do anything. I'm not going to lift it with these guys working on the other side of it, but there's handles on all 4 sides. Between 4 of us, we can pick it up and move it. We can walk it around, spin it 180 degrees, whatever we need to do. But just do that before all the, we put those metal rollers in, things like that will get heavy.
Okay.
So, plumbing in. So we're going to put in the non-ambulatory rollers. Go lie under here. And then we really may or may not want the curtains, but like I said, these can be moved anywhere in the tent, however you guys see fit. Like, hey, we want privacy here, we don't want it there, just peel it back. This can be moved over to that lane, wherever you want it. So we'll do the rollers next, and then the outside lanes get the flooring, because patients won't be in suits like you guys with boots. So we want to keep them definitely above the water, wherever it's pulling to. So we'll do the flooring on the outside and then move the rollers in next.
Oh.
So if you have someone in there, patients come in, they're obviously closed because we're really trying to maintain their privacy.
Yeah.
So they walk in, they can throw their clothes, or if you have an attendant there, the clothes can be thrown out through here. Maybe you have an overpacked drum. So there's one on each side for all the ambulatory patients. So we'll put our laundry port out here, or our laundry collection, however we're collecting it, and it can come out through here.
Wow. Okay.
These all along the bottom are just general utility ports. We'll run power in there for sump pumps, power in there for using it for a treatment tent. Anything you can think of, run power. We're going to run our hoses in and out of there. So those are just general utility ports where we need them. For like a triage tent, a COVID testing tent, and it's going to be up for a long period of time. We close this up, and when we do, there's a little loop, little strap right here. You run this through. Cinch that closed just to keep this tight. Because what we found, we have great big field hospital systems out there that in the rain, if you didn't cinch this tight, you come out, you have about a gallon of water sitting right there. So that's what that is. Close that up and then put it through that loop to give it a nice taut, just so it doesn't pull water or anything like that. All we're going to do, okay, yeah, I think I said that one there earlier. These are for the outside lanes. These are just to get people out of standing water. So we'll set them in and kick them out. So if you're watching, like that.
The water will roll off.
Yeah, water, they're perforated, so the water is going to roll underneath and off of them. So we'll put in one of those, or two of those in each outside lane. And the center lane is going to get the non-ambulatory rollers, so that doesn't get any flooring. Aren't able to walk. So this is not ambulatory. Those that can't walk themselves, they'll be on the outside lane. Generally speaking, you do a male or a female on the outside, so they have privacy from one another. And then for those patients that can't walk, we run them through on these rollers. So we just wheel it into the tent.
Wow. I didn't know because everyone's going to play with it.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So we'll kind of center this, and then each side has a section that comes off of it with the legs.
So it does stand up.
Yes.
Great.
So I did a good shot on this. So I'll stand here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we just got to be stretched out enough. There we go. There's a little pin. See that? Yep. Put that through there and that'll lock it in. So pardon?
We would bring the stretcher up here to catch them at the
Yes, this is going to be the beginning, and you'll roll them through. What I see people most often do is put this to one side, and then they stand on one side.
Okay.
Because you guys might have a little breather over here.
Right, right.
And then these are going to be your shower points, and if you choose to use soap or a solution, it'll be the yellow line, and then clean water rinse all the way at the back at the end. So before the
So where will we? Sorry, I'm just trying to visualize it.
That's okay.
Where will we put it? Over here. Let's say if you want to put it
You want to put a soap line in?
Yeah.
Right here. Like where would we put the soap?
Like, would we feed it in here? Or?
Okay. No, it would go here. I don't think you guys got the soap injector from us, but it would go here. Anywhere in line. After the water heater. You don't want to put the soap in before the water heater. Okay. After the water heater, but in this line. So we have a soap injector that goes right here. It sits in, you fill it with soap, and then it has just a brass connection that would fill in here. And it would grab soap and soap these two.
Oh.
Yes. So you can see how strong it is. The pin isn't going anywhere, but if you did have high winds, you want to make sure you're anchored to the ground. Yep. So that's what these guys over here are. These are anchor bladders. Yes. To fill this with water. The way these work, it's just a carabiner to connect to these staking straps. As I mentioned a little bit earlier, we could stake this to the ground with stakes, but we're not set up outside in the grass. We're set up on concrete and on pavement. So this is what's going to save the pavement. And when instead of using stakes, we'll just strap this to the tent.
Hey, guys, look at this part.
So guys, these are anchor bladders. This is going to weight it down to hold this. So instead of carrying sandbags or concrete or jersey barriers, which we could use, and you could use those ropes to tie it off. You can still use those ropes if you're near a building or anything heavy, you can tie it off. But these bladders allow you to just lie this next to the tent, and then we fill them with water. Okay. So by filling them with water, we'll use that as our weight source instead of constantly carrying around sandbags or anything like that. And since you're a decon setup, you're already going to have access to water. So go ahead and fill these babies up whenever you go to use them. And just carabiner all down the line. Every 5 feet, there's another section, carabiner to that, and then fill them. And then it simply is a matter of dumping them when we're done. So that big yellow red valve up there, or you have a big red, I don't know my colors. The big red valve there, just take that out, open it, and dump it, and get the water on. Here you go. Your gray water hoses, because we call that gray water, those will be on the cart. There'll be 2 of those, and then there's 2 of these pumps. So everything will be quick connect. Go into your water, make your connection here, connect your gray water hose, and send the water away. If the tent gets put up and you say, oh no, it's the wrong direction, the clean side's facing downward. Not while anyone's in there and not where the rollers are in there, we can pick this tent up and move it. It's really not that heavy. So we get a person on all 4 corners with one arm, we'll pick it up, we'll turn it 180 degrees, move it wherever we need to.
So this adapter piece right here, just if you wanted water to go farther away, add another hose.
You could add another hose, or if you were going to put it to like a collection bladder where you're going to contain it, it would connect into the bladder.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
Yeah, that's what that can connect to. I'll have this screwed on, so it'll be a quick connect. So if you bought more hose and say, we need this to go 60 feet,
right, I
can send you another hose and it'll quick connect on here. Or if you say, hey, they want us to collect it, not send it down the drain.
Right.
We do have bladders, 500-gallon bladders, that would connect directly into the bladder.
Right.
Yep. Yeah. They look kind of like the anchor bladders, but they're big and square.
Right.
And they get about this high when they're
just depending on what kind of hazmat issue it is.
Yeah, what it is and what they ultimately say where they want the dirty water to go.
Yeah.
Exactly. To wherever you're ultimately going to hook up to the building for water. So that is going to run to the water heater. The plastic grids. I don't know if you had those in your old tent or anything like that.
That's what I've trained on.
Okay.
Yeah, the whole
plastic,
like plastic, the whole place used to be plastic. Contained at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you put one in and another one, and then they pinch your fingers when you stack them.
Like just clamping everything together.
Yeah. This is so much easier. Drop them in, kick them out, and they're good to go.
Yep. Where we go, right here?
All right, so yeah, let's go over to the water heater. Blue line for input. So as we mentioned, everything is, I'll turn it so you can see there. So this is your input line, the blue one. So that's on there. Now we're supplying, and then this is the output. It's electric.
These hoses also are good to fill the bags with the weight. Not just any hose can go into that pit that you had.
Into where?
Into remember the ones that you set up right here on the side?
Oh yeah.
We
Oh
have to
yeah,
fill it out
use
with this.
that.
Okay.
It's actually a good idea. Set that up first because
Yeah.
it should anchor. But yeah, they'll quick connect to those bladders.
Yeah.
Yep, and fill it.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. First, we gotta put.
Propane bottle. This is your regulator. So this is just the same as any propane cylinder. Just like it's your grill, your barbecue at home, works the same way. So that'll go to the bottle. And then this is also quick connect, different size, so you can't do this wrong really. And that
And
connects
it's
up to the bottle.
electronic ignition.
Just make sure that's strong.
That's
Yes.
an electronic igniter.
Yep.
Okay.
So this little guy here, holding this back. So this will be electric, so it does need power. And then on the back is your on. So right here is your on off. And you can adjust the temperature as needed.
You just have to turn the on. A quick connect.
Yep, everything's going to be quick connect.
pull
Whether it's these hoses or that.
Sorry, what does that mean?
Oh, a quick connect is instead of having to screw things on, there's just fittings. You go like this, and snap right into place.
90.
If you think of the colors, this one's blue because cold water is going to be going in. So the two reds are the outputs. They're the hot water. When you look underneath where those connections are, just so you know, where do you put the input, where do you put the output. So the inputs are over here, the outputs are over here.
First, you got the water running. Turn it on. And then set up the temperature.
Okay.
4 simple steps. Yeah.
Yep.
Cámbiale, Luisito, este para No te va a poner freno.
That's what I was checking before. When you
Con los partidos.
I was like, all right. He's like, you volunteer? I'm like, let's go. No. You know, you need a couple days off to learn how to breathe again.
You want
Leave another testing
All right,
option.
quick while he's in there.
Get up on the 12th day?
We'll get these ratchets strapped down, so it's all locked together. And then do you see these feet right here? I can tilt this on its end, and then it's only taking up like a 3x3 square instead of 6 feet.
And where's the?
The ratchet strap should be back over here. Slide them off. Yeah, there it is.
Oh,
You can bring that over.
I did not see continuity. That strip in my eyes is not blown.
Second shelf.
Thanks, brother.
Get consolidated into 2 carts. For the floor, to get holes in the floor.
Yeah.
Then there's materials for the canopy, the bright blue, to get holes in there. And then for the grids, the stand on,
Yeah.
there's material there. So it's very simple. The instructions are in there. There's even sandpaper because you rough it up a little bit. You clean it with like acetone or something. Rub it up a little bit with the sandpaper, like with the acetone, and it'll tell you. You put the glue on the patch and a little glue here, and put them together, and you're good to go. So repair kit, instruction manual is all in here. You don't have to keep it here. It ships from the factory like this. You may want to put this aside and keep this inside or on the cart. But it is here for that. I mentioned inflate and deflate. So you just look at it. That's with your valve wide open. You'll probably stand here for a minute and let airflow like that. With this little safety cap, just put that on there. And that's enough to hold it. If anybody would bump this, that's enough to hold it.
That's Halloween costume.
So again, it's push pull valve, inflate, deflate.
My brother just sent me that.
Okay, so we still have to connect it when we deflating it, right?
Yep, we're gonna take this inflator, we're gonna put the hose on the backside, and we'll draw all the air down.
Yeah, something.
Yep. And we'll give it maybe about 5 minutes. And then all we're going to do is kind of make sure it's in its footprint, like all the blue canopies within the rectangle on the floor. And then we're going to fold it all the way over once, all the way over again, and then we just roll it up like a sleeping bag, and then roll it right onto that cart. So you can deploy it next time without even having to manhandle it off the cart. Just plug it in and go. Give that a good shove in there, smooth. Push it a little harder so you hear it click. Really hard, as hard as you can.
That's it. He's not using working hard.
Whenever they're brand new, they can be a little bit stiff. non-stop. Now I can do
I gotta
this.
tell people this.
It's out. See how soft it is now?
Yeah.
So we could actually have these tents with less than a pound of pressure in there, but they would still stand. Kind of like an amazing way with engineering. Go ahead and flip on that switch. Oh, it's up on here. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and flip that switch. I've just helped we'll get it away a lot quicker. You come in about 5
Where the
feet
road's
deep,
at,
right
yeah.
there. Hard to see from over there. Yeah, there you go. You can pull it in. So all we want to do is take the air out, which it's doing, and then we want to make sure it's in its footprint. See how I can see the floor here over here? And I'll go ahead and tuck in like we get at the doors and stuff. Just keeps it clean. We're going to always pull it back to the valve. So we're always going to start here and pull it back to the valve so that we deploy it next time, it deploys the same way we do that. Always right to the right front. So if you ever think, wait, we pull it this way or that way, always pull it back to the valve. Always roll back.
Rob, why are you running like that?
So I like to do that one with 2 people. But now this goal we could have more. Because if you walk on the canopy, the blue part, then you're going to have footprints on your tent. But here, feel free to walk on this. There's lights in there, there's plumbing, so tread lightly, but you're okay. So anybody with a handle, we'll fold it over in half again.
All right, let me get on the corner. Louis, you got the center.
You're going to fold it one more time and stand it up. You want to step on this side, otherwise you can kind of see.
I need to be on that side.
Right.
You know I've done this before.
Oh no,
What?
Aaron,
What?
you got me.
You're in the whole video.
got
You're
me
in
in
the
the-
One day, walk it, push a little more air out. So we'll go ahead and start rolling, and we'll be good to go. Good. Disconnect this. But I'm going to leave the hose on.
Yeah.
Just so that's one less thing you have to kind of find. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you don't have to find that valve.
Yeah.
This would be nice and easy.
That part is common sense. And I got a meal in there.
So do I, but I can
Two
stay.
pieces
It
of
could
chicken.
stay in the fridge.
2 pieces of wing.
All right, come in your way, guys.
Saying, man.
It's just calling us and call it grease.
Yeah, man. It's
Greasy
got that,
food.
that sugar seasoning, that crack on there.
Yeah.
You know, it's delicious.
Delicious.
It is. It's good and good for you. Sugar and fried chicken is good for you. It was me being 6'4" that did it.
Roll, guys, roll.
Okay, guys, gonna roll uphill.
Watch, pinch your toes.
Hey, we got that right.
Good. About that, boy.